This episode of The Tech Sphere is brought to you by Private Internet Access. Pay only $2.91 a month US and get 2 years of secure web browsing.
5, 4, 3, 2, are you ready?
You're listening to The Tech Sphere, Sydney's freshest tech podcast. Hosted by Harry and Andrew. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to The Tech Sphere. This is episode number 10. My name is Harry.
And I am Andrew. And in this week's episode of The Tech Sphere, a Russian blog basically leaks the entire Pixel 3 XL phone to the world.
Rip.
DJI dropped some new drones. Australian telcos TPG and Vodafone plan a $15 billion merger. And we discuss the Australian government's plan to roll out the My Health records nationwide.
All that and more up next. So, yeah. So, for those who don't know, we pretty much know what the Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL looks like.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, pretty awkward.
You might think, well, what's wrong with that? The problem is that we did not hear it from Google.
Yeah.
That's the big problem. We heard it from a good old Russian blog.
Yep. On the 22nd of August, a Russian blog called Rozhudked posted an article which claimed they had obtained the device from an anonymous source. How mysterious, am I right?
Anonymous, like Russians always love to be. I'm kidding. We love you Russians.
But the thing is the phone actually hasn't been announced yet, and it won't be until October 4th.
But I think they might have to think of some other plans right now.
Yeah, because, they can pretty much just rock up and be like, you got it right.
Yep.
And then turn
this
off
is what
all
it
the
looks
lights.
like. Surprise. Yeah, so according to the blog, the Pixel 3 XL will sport a 2960 by 1440 display, which is quite impressive for a phone display.
Yeah.
It would also feature a Snapdragon 845 processor.
Yeah.
And Android Pie, of course.
Of course.
And another one following the trend of no headphone jack. And the biggest notch you have ever seen in a phone.
Oh my God, it's so big.
It is, it is quite an impressive notch. It's definitely not as wide as some other phones out there are, but it comes down into the screen of a bit more than I think I would like.
Yeah, like I'm all for. Well, I'm not all for, but I'm not completely opposed to having a notch. But this is where I draw the line. To be completely honest,
it's pushing it.
Yeah,
quite literally, it's pushing the screen down.
Another thing, which is I think is pretty cool, was on August 24th, a YouTube account, once again a Russian YouTube account called Digi, released a 3-minute long video, which was just of an unboxing of the Pixel 3 XL, which once again,
it's mysterious.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And if you haven't seen the video, it is pretty much quite a professional production.
Yeah.
With your typical, flat lay kind of layout. And within the shot, you can see a Google Home Mini.
And, it kind of makes me think, could this have been some sort of late commercial made by Google?
I think it might be. It really is the only logical explanation as to what this is. Yeah,
because other than that, it could be as we just said, it's been someone's leaked it, or maybe it's some sort of this isn't real, but it's actually going to be like a real trailer kind of thing.
Yeah,
kind of thing, or it could just be like a counterfeit device, and it just looks so good. Which, it could be a thing, but it
could be.
Props
maybe it's a boycott from Google themselves, releasing a completely fake new phone and placing it in the wild. Actually, talking about placing in the wild, apparently, according to sources, that this phone, the Pixel 3 XL, was supposedly left in a lift car.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So
that would have been pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. Actually, it's not the first time such thing has happened. I think previously that happened with a Samsung. I forget which model, but yeah, it was left in a taxi. It fell out of someone's pocket during their testing. Yeah, so we know a lot
Yeah,
about the
it's
Pixel
pretty
3X.
crazy. Yeah, what are they going to say other than this is it?
There's nothing left to say for Google. It's out there, it's around, unless of course it's completely different and it's completely wrong.
Yes, that could be a thing.
Which I'm kind of hoping it is. That'll be really interesting.
That'd be funny.
Google will be like, ha, gotcha. Talking about phones, it comes closely related to our next story, which is a virus outbreak at Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or
That's a mouthful.
more well known as TSMC. Basically, they're a manufacturing company that produces lots of processors and all microcontrollers sort of things. And yeah, so they have come to suffer a virus outbreak. Not an attack, speculations say, but more an outbreak. So apparently this virus came along due to human error, which seems to have been caught via the installation of a new tool. That sounds fishy.
Yeah.
A new tool, or perhaps a unwanted program. But what's even funnier, I find, it's quite a serious case because it does affect, obviously, the productions of these microprocessors, which ultimately end up in most of our phones and, like everyone's phones, basically. But yeah, the virus that is the culprit here is called WannaCry.
Of course it's called that.
Yeah, so it's a ransomware, which means it is a type of virus that will lock up your systems or cause some sort of damage to your systems. But in order to repair it, they ask for money, which is obviously a substantial amount.
Sounds like something Dr. Evil would do.
Here's the plan. We get the warhead and we hold the world ransom for $100 billion.
So yeah, it's a pretty big thing. It's affected a lot of people actually. So the major producers of phones, being Apple, NVidia, and Qualcomm, have all been identified and have been told that there will be delays with the production of their phones. So if you're looking to get one of these phones, then there may be a bit of a delay.
Yeah, which is a shame for us consumers, but things come along and things happens basically. Let's put it like that.
In the wise words of Tony Abbott.
Oh my gosh. Yes, indeed. So by the looks of it, this virus has not only affected their computer systems, but has also affected their fabrication tools. Which
it's a bit of a bit of a major inconvenience.
Yeah, we can't design the products. We can't make the products. What do we do? Oh no. So that's going ahead. It wasn't too long of a delay. They did come to identify the issue quite quickly, but it did take them some time to resolve the issue. So delays are still in place. And yes, our favorite manufacturers are going to have to wait a little bit longer for their new stuff.
Rippy dip. Yeah,
still waiting on the final outcome. There hasn't been a final answer yet. We don't, as of this time of recording. So we're unclear of whether the ransomware was successful in getting a ransom from them, or if it just basically caused a major inconvenience, which we hope it's that one.
Would you pay the ransom?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a huge company like that, you'd hope they would have some sort of backup.
Yeah.
In order to restore everything. So
because if they lost all that, then
and that's
pretty bad.
I reckon would be a lot cheaper than the ransom that they were told to give.
Yeah.
After a lovely reboot.
Do you know if it said how much the ransom was?
No, could not find any information on that. Not yet. So.
Well, I'm sure it's more than any single person could actually pay for.
Targeting such a big company like that.
Yeah, it's probably, a couple $1 million at least.
Yeah. Or not. Maybe the guys who installed this new creative tool is just some random guy who wants a little bit of money.
Maybe it's an employee, just saying. Inside job. Inside job.
Inside job, yep. The worker got refused as to a pay rise, therefore he decided to get another way.
Continuing on with phone news.
Yes. There's a lot of phones out today.
There are a lot of phones. So the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 You know, that one that exploded a couple of years ago, but not because it's the next one. But anyway, it's
yes.
been announced, and yeah, we're going to tell you a little bit about it.
First up, though, big news about the Note 9 for the major craze of Fortnite.
Oh my God.
To everyone out there, to all of our listeners who love Fortnite, I personally don't, but no, I take no offense to anything. Yeah, so as you all know, as I didn't know, Fortnite was only available on iOS up until now, which is the Note 9 now exclusively has access to the Android version of Fortnite.
Well, for the first 2 days it's released.
Yeah.
After
Then
that, it'll be available to everyone.
So that's a good plus for them.
And so, you know, you've got your phone, and now you're going to be able to play some Fortnite, but it's going to be great because it's on a 6.4-inch screen.
Which is massive.
It is. A bit too big for me, honestly. But
yeah, likewise. But if you're into big phones.
Yeah, big phones,
And
big hands, big phones, big... Yeah.
Then this is the phone for you. But you better have your wallets ready.
Oh my God.
Because it's popping in at a whopping $17.99 price tag.
Oh my God.
So $200 away from $2,000 for a smartphone.
That's not nice.
It is not nice. And I'm assuming we don't have, of course, any official pricing from Samsung themselves, but judging by the fact that there is up to a 512 gigabyte version, I'm not sure if that price caters for the maximum, options.
Yeah.
So it could get more expensive, but either way, like I said, if you're willing to drop that much money into a smartphone, I'm definitely not.
No.
Then yeah, but I mean, come on, 6.4-inch screen. That's going to be
That's
a heckingly good thing to look at.
It better be. Just saying.
Yeah, it better be. And as with every new smartphone, they are going to up their capacity on their battery.
Just don't explode, please.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for the sake of plane safety. Let's hope that doesn't
All jokes
happen.
aside, I think it is pretty cool that they've really increased the size of the battery. So it's 4,000 milliamps, which is pretty impressive.
Which, to put that in perspective, for us Apple users, so our, the latest iPhone 8 at the moment, their battery size is 1,800 milliamps. So you can tell that it's,
Damn.
this is where Apple, I guess, I hate to say it, loses.
Yeah, but the thing with Apple is they're trying to make their phones as thin as possible.
Yeah. So you do sacrifice your battery space. And of course, it's not as big as a 6.4-inch large smartphone.
Yes.
So it's reasonable. But yeah, 4,000 milliamps, that's going to be amazing in terms of battery life. They claim it's, the all-day battery life. I'm not sure if they're referring to all day as 12 hours or 24 hours.
Probably, 12.
Probably 12, yeah.
Yeah.
From
But
the time you unplug your phone to the time you have to replug your phone.
yes. But I tell you what is going to be very handy with the 512 gigabytes of storage is the ability to be able to take so many selfies with the little stylus that they've got.
That's right. Yep.
The ultimate way to take us a photo
Yeah.
is now with your stylus.
Oh, why? What have we gone to? Seriously?
I know.
I'm ashamed to be. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm all for selfies, even though I never take one. Yeah, so it's going to come, of course, with a stylus, as the Note is famously known for.
Yes.
Wow, how do I know that? I'm an Apple user. It's a battery-powered stylus that can also be used as a remote control for selfies.
Yeah. And, and presentations and all that kind of stuff. But, of course,
Yeah.
selfies.
The
Don't worry about anything else.
the main point is selfies. No one
That's all
does
that's gonna be
presentations.
useful.
Presentations? What are those? Presentations of selfies? I can understand. But
Yeah.
So with a smartphone that has a 6.4-inch smart screen, obviously graphics are going to have to be quite powerful to power such a thing.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe even the new NVidia RTX 2080 could be enough to power such a large smartphone screen.
Wow, what an awful segue.
Hey, it was great.
Yeah.
Don't you guys agree? Yeah, so
no,
if
they don't.
if you didn't get the segue, we are now moving on to the brand new NVIDIA RTX, not GTX, RTX 2080.
Why did they have to change it? RTX. No.
Change is the greatest aspect of human life. No, I'm kidding. I hate it. So the NVIDIA RTX.
What is the NVIDIA RTX 2080 or whatever the hell it's called?
I don't know.
It's a graphics card. That's all you need to know.
It's a graphics card. That's it.
Yeah.
So the RTX 2080 was announced a couple of days ago
At the time of recording.
with approved, obviously, final images and the actual physical thing, what it looks like, which I think it looks pretty damn cool and minimal and sleek and aesthetic. And
And
I want it. So if you can't tell, this is the successor to the very popular GTX 1080 and the 1080 Ti.
Yes.
But a different sort of twist to it, to NVIDIA. What they've done is, in the past, they've had their reference cards, which, have that typical NVIDIA look that people love, but no overclocking. Pure, base stock GPU. But this time, they're offering their reference cards with overclock from factory.
Dun, dun, dun.
Overclock, all the things. So that's going to be a first in their line, but that is besides the entire main point of RTX, of the RTX series. So they've announced the RTX 2080, the RTX 2080 Ti, and the RTX 2070, which will be coming later in the year. RTX, I'm not exactly sure what it stands for, but the main performance part of this card is real-time ray tracing. Let me say that again. Real-time ray tracing.
Let me just pick my mind up from the floor.
That is huge. Like, real-time. Yeah, so for those who don't know what ray tracing is, it's basically a process during rendering where not only do you account for the physical properties of light, but also of how it interacts with its environment. So stuff like shadows, reflections, diffusion, everything that makes things look pretty. Bit onto specs now. For those of you who have the current 10 series cards, you might be interested in these and whether you want to upgrade or not.
Yeah,
I
just bought mine, so I'm right.
Yeah, that's right. Hey. Yeah, so let's start from the top to the 2080 Ti. You're looking at 4,352 CUDA cores. Man, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
11 gigs of GDDR6.
Damn.
RAM. So stepped up again there.
Of course.
As always. 14 gigabits per second memory speed. 10 gigaраys per second ray tracing. RTX operations. 76 trillion per second. Man, this thing sounds powerful. And you know why? Because the power consumption is 250 watts.
Oh, damn.
So if you pay your electricity bills,
Rip you.
please do consider this factor before buying it.
Yeah, they probably won't. They don't care.
Yeah.
They want the
They
raw
just want
power.
the latest, the best in graphics cards.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, I wish I had the money.
Talking about money, I think it's about time that we pay some bills. Andrew, we've all been in this situation, surfing on the web at home, at work, or on the go. But while we're busy watching YouTube clips, someone else could be watching us.
That's right. While connected to public Wi-Fi, there could be anyone spying on you. And it's easy as that. Even on your home Wi-Fi, your ISP can tell what you're looking at and when.
However, we have a solution for you.
And that's private internet access.
PIA is a simple-to-use VPN service that provides state-of-the-art multi-layered security and privacy. It can allow you to browse the internet privately and securely, hide your IP address from the real world, and even supports torrenting. All this on up to 5 devices simultaneously.
They have over 3,000 servers in 28 countries, which even allow you to unblock sites while traveling. Simply follow the link in the show notes below and sign up for 2 years of secure internet browsing for only $2.91 US a month. And if you're not happy, you get a 7-day money-back guarantee.
Wow, that's pretty good. It's available on Windows, Mac, iPhone, Android, Linux, and Chrome. To get PIA, follow the link in the show notes.
Always remember, kids, use protection.
Fun fact, When Snapchat was launched in 2011, it was named Peekaboo, but in 2012, it was renamed to Snapchat. Fun fact. Talking about money, there's going to be a really large exchange of money between Vodafone and TPG. Now, for people who are not, who live under a rock, for the Australians, or for anyone who, because we do have a significant audience outside of Australia.
Hello, people.
Hello. TPG and Vodafone, they are Australia's third and fourth largest telcos. So what's happened is, or what's happening or going to happen, is that they're going to merge.
They're coming together as one. They're coming to unite, like the human race should do.
Yeah.
That was really deep.
That was so deep. But it's going to be a $15 million Australian merger.
$15 billion.
Billion, sorry. Did I say million? I meant billion. $15 billion Australian dollars merger. Damn.
I wish I had that money. $15
Same.
billion. What would you do with $15 billion?
I would start my own telephone company.
Well, luckily for you, someone's already done that.
So Vodafone, they will be holding a 51% majority stake in the new company, while TPG will have a 49.9% stake.
Ooh.
And after all that, the new company will be called, in the Australian Stock Exchange, TPG Telecom Limited. So
Right.
Vodafone will have more power, but it's being called TPG.
I guess that's fair play.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, wow.
Yeah.
So Vodafone is going to go under the hole. Well, name-wise.
Yeah, name-wise.
That's going to be...
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting seeing all the retail stores switch over to...
Well, yeah. I
Or
wonder what
are they
will happen
keeping
there. I guess they'll just change
Yeah.
names. But so
unless it's all like the company behind these.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably, or maybe. Oh, who knows? I guess time will tell.
Whether or not the merger proceeds will depend on the companies getting approval from the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission and Foreign Investment Review Board. So there's going to have to be a little process that they're going to have to go through in order to get the merge happen. Because, processing $15 billion
Yeah, well,
is not a simple thing.
I think I remember reading that it's like a 6 to 12 month review period, which
Wow.
is pretty long.
That's a lengthy time for them.
But yeah, the ACCC has expressed concern about the deal. So Rod Sims, who's the ACCC's chairman, said that no doubt the merger parties will argue that it makes them stronger to compete with Telstra and Optus. On the other hand, having 4 parties in the market can be better than having 3. However, having a new entrant desperate to gain share can offer better deals for consumers, which I think, ultimately is the most important thing.
Yeah. It's always about the customers.
Yeah. Because, one thing that we, as we've said a couple of times, a few times, is that Australian, telcos, they know how to get as much money as they can out of us. And in return, giving us as little as possible.
Just business things, hey.
Yeah, it's just business, nothing personal.
That's it. But it'll be interesting to see how this pans out for the people's internet and phone plans who are currently with both TPG and Vodafone, which I know heaps of people in Vodafone. Like, it seems to be quite popular amongst the, I guess, the younger generations, at least.
Yeah, well, because TPG is they're a pretty big name in terms of broadband home internet.
Yeah.
You always see their commercials saying it's like unlimited data for 40. What was it? $49.99. $49.99. No, 99 a month. Yeah,
which is pretty damn good deal comparing to like you're looking at Optus and Telstra, which are above $100. Unlimited data, but I mean you have other things like home phone.
That too. But one thing I do have to, well, actually, isn't it home phone and data for $49.99 a month?
Oh, actually, yeah, I think it is. Hey,
yes, but
True.
One thing is the $99 a month for Optus and Telstra. That is your 100 down to up, whereas TPG, at least from memory, they're not as fast. They're like max 50. which is, obviously why they can be so cheap. But, you never know. With this $15 billion, they may be able to do even more competitive stuff. And it'll be, as you said, it'll be definitely interesting to see where this, takes us.
Talking about panning out, we're doing another segue here.
Segway!
DJI, the lovely company that we all know and love that creates all our great media.
I love
most
DJI.
of it. So do I.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They're so expensive.
Oh, as you will find out in just a moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So DJI has released 2 new drones. Now, if you remember back to last year, they released the Mavic Pro. But this year, they've released 2 new drones, because, why not? 2, of course, called the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic 2 Zoom.
Zoom. What does that do? I don't know. Why don't we find out?
Yes. So let's start off. So the Mavic 2 Pro comes in at an amazingly expensive price of $2,299 Australian, sorry. And the Zoom is not too bad, but still kind of expensive, $1,999 Australian. Both drones have a total of 31 minutes of battery life. Yeah, that's pretty good for a drone. That's pretty good.
That's pretty solid.
They have Action Track 2.0. So for those who haven't seen the video or just don't know in general, it's how when cars, when you've got like a car and it goes around like a building or something and it kind of loses focus and all that kind of stuff, doesn't really know where it's going.
I've had that. I've actually had that happen quite a few times when using my the Mavic Pro, trying to, especially with people. When they're running around and then they go behind a bush and it just loses it.
So with Action Track 2.0, it will now no longer, and it will kind of like guess where it'll go. So, I'm sure it won't be as good as they're making it out to be because, like a very kind of choreographed kind of film.
A computer can only guess so much.
Yeah, but, it should definitely kind of increase the likelihood of it being successful.
You know what this is reminding me of?
What?
The latest internet trend of surprising your dog that you, when you hold up the cloth, and then you drop it and you disappear. Can try play those.
Oh my god!
Can play those pranks on the Mavic Pro too.
Oh yes, I can see it now. It's gonna be so famous, so viral.
Yeah, so hopefully that's a thing that. Hopefully they're gonna eliminate that.
Yes.
Anyway. On to specs.
Or particular specs. So that's what both drones have had. Now, in particular with the Pro variant, they've got the Hasselblad camera. Now, for those who don't know who Hasselblad is or, why they've got anything to do with DJI is, well, DJI, firstly, they bought Hasselblad. And secondly, for those who are familiar with video cameras, if you've ever heard of Red, which we've discussed previously on the show before, Hasselblad is kind of like the Red of the stills cameras.
You put that very well.
Yeah. But an interesting point that you brought up just before the show, Andrew, mind retelling that for us?
Yeah, so for those who do know the name Hasselblad, it is like, as Harry said, like the kingpin of the stills world.
Yeah.
Your very expensive, high professional, medium format cameras. But in the case of the Mavic 2 Pro, I keep saying Mavic Pro 2, Mavic 2 Pro. The sensor in it is, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, it's the same sensor that is in the Phantom 4 and the Phantom 4 Plus, which is actually a Sony sensor. So those familiar with the Sony compact series, the RX100s, they are the 1-inch sensors that is used in there. So if I am correct, and if it is true, then Hasselblad on the camera is merely just a name they can use because they own.
Yeah.
They own it.
Look, it does sound a bit dodgy, but I'm sure there is some.
Yeah, I mean the optics are definitely a lot more refined.
Yeah,
and a lot clearer and a lot sharper. So they got that going for the name. But don't get too excited that it's a whole new mini Hasselblad sitting on your drone flying in the air.
Exactly, yeah. So continuing on, it's 20 megapixel camera sensor. It's a 1-inch sensor, so that's that's always good. 10-bit D-Log, which I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be so good.
It's gonna be so good.
Get that nice flat looking image.
Flat. And it'll also have 10-bit HDR video.
I wonder what memory card is going to need to record all that data.
Oh.
It's going to have to be hefty.
It is. Oh, actually, that's actually true.
More sales for SanDisk.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's think about it. So it's $2,300 Australian plus.
True.
Okay, well, let's say it's like, 100 at least $100, would you say, for
at
a
least
SD card for a decent amount of storage at a decent speed?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be expensive.
Mind you, micro SD cards, so a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, so it is going to get up there if you're looking to buy one of these lovely rigs. And of course, the accessories. Don't forget that DJI also offers their Fly More combos.
Yes.
So 2 extra batteries, extra set of props, bag, car charger, etc.
And also the goggles. So if you want to be able to do
yes.
it with like a first person kind of thing.
Yep, first person view.
Going to be expensive. So that's obviously a lot of money. So if you don't want to, or I wouldn't even say if you don't want to spend that amount of money because it's, anyway, well, you'll see. The Mavic 2 Zoom has a 24 to 48 millimeter optical zoom, which I think is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And it's a decent zoom.
Yeah.
If you're coming from a DSLR world, keep in mind that this is a 1-inch sensor.
It's a 0.3-inch sensor.
Yes, don't get mixed up with the Mavic 2 Pro. So, yeah, that focal length is whatever the magnification equivalent is to your full frame. But it is quite a cool zoom. Yeah, so it sports a 12 megapixel, 0.3-inch CMOS sensor.
Yes.
So smaller than your Mavic 2 Pro, which is, I guess, why the price difference comes in there. And
yeah, somehow.
So you do have to, I guess, choose. I mean, if you have enough money to buy both, please be my friend. I would love to use both.
That actually raises a very interesting thing because, well, yeah, you basically, if you basically do want to get two.
Yeah.
Because they're, they've got a really nice sensor and I'm assuming D-Log isn't part of the other one?
So, yeah, I don't think so.
So, yeah, like, unless you don't mind foregoing either like a nicer, in inverted commas, sensor compared to like
Having
optical zoom.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to buy two.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, as cool as it is to have a zoom lens on a drone, I don't exactly see the point in it. As, your drone is made to move around, so if you need to get closer to a subject,
get closer.
Simply do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
plus, let's think about it. Most of the shots that you're going to be getting with a camera, like with a drone like this, are going to be aerial shots. Where,
and nice wide sort of field of views. So.
Yeah.
But you never know. People can get creative.
Yeah.
And actually, where creativity does come from DJI is that they've managed to put in a dolly zoom effect.
Yes.
That is fully automated, so you're going to get that perfectly cool
smooth
thing that you do.
Yes.
Basically, what a dolly zoom is
trombone effect. Is that what it's called?
Trombone effect. Yeah.
Or the Spielberg zoom?
Effect. Yeah, he was the first one that did that. Basically, it's where the camera for example, the camera goes closer to a subject, but your lens is zooming out. So
it'll look like as though the subject. So let's say, for example, the person is stationary, but the background is kind of like
it's compressing and
looks
doing this really cool effect. If you don't know what it is, just YouTube it. There's like heaps of effects out there.
Yeah,
it looks really cool. It looks awesome. So seeing that on a drone, nicely done and automated, which would be awesome because it can be very tricky to do.
Yeah,
especially on like a DSLR series situation. I mean, so those are the two drones released by DJI, and it's making its rounds. And it's, I mean, like every other bit of new technology, new mainstream technology, it's quite popular already, and everyone wants it. But yeah, the price tag.
The price tag.
And on to the next story, Rode.
Yes, good old Rode, also known as the unofficial sponsors of this podcast.
Hit us up, Rode.
Hit us up,
We love
please.
you. We're Australian too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who didn't know, Rode is actually an Australian company, which I didn't. Well, I think I knew, but I completely forgot. But got re-sparked with that memory not too long ago. So they've released a new microphone
Yes.
for us Apple users. Oh yeah, because we're special and we need special stuff, and I hate it.
So you may, I'm sure everyone who's even remotely interested in filmography is, the video mic.
Yeah,
Something that you'd see on a DSLR and all that kind of stuff. But what they've actually done is they've actually released that video mic kind of as a lightning connector variant, which I think is pretty cool. So, it means anyone who's got an iPhone or an iPad, they're able to now connect their, have not professional, but at least much better sounding audio, which would be, good.
which we all love to have.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a cardioid microphone, which means, it's able to pick up audio that's in front and it just rejects everything at least pretty much rejects everything else behind it and to the sides.
Sounds like my life.
Wow. Deep.
In terms of how it looks and the form factor of it, if you've guys seen the Rode Video Micro or the Rode Video Mic Me, it is essentially the same thing, except with a 3.5mm jack. It has a lightning port because we're special.
Well, that's why it's called the Me L. Me
Lightning. Please, lightning.
Me likey.
Yes, that would be a great little addition to your arsenal of audio gear.
Anyway, but as we mentioned, it is connected via lightning port. Now, for those who, have an iPhone 7 or above, they now realize at this point that they can't actually listen to anything because, that age-old thing of not having a headphone jack anymore.
Yeah, and the lightning port adapter to 3.5mm jack.
Yeah. However, your problem has been solved because there is a headphone jack on the actual microphone.
Right in the back of it.
Right in the back for direct monitoring.
Yeah.
Low
And
latency.
it's at a not too bad price
Yeah.
of $89.
$89. Oh, that's Australian. So.
Australian dollars, yes. If you have an iPhone 7 or later and you wish to add a headphone jack to your phone, feel free to spend $89 on it and
Get a new microphone while you're there.
yeah, it's a 2-in-1. Hey, would you look at that? See, Apple is great.
Apple.
Oh, I missed the headphone jack.
HTC. So, HTC we may know as, phone manufacturer. They're also the manufacturer of the HTC Vive, which, as we know very well, is probably the best virtual reality headset. Would you agree with that assessment?
Mm-hmm. From, my limited experience, it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I want one so much.
But the big problem, as I'm sure anyone who's used it before, is
You're trapped.
you're trapped because of this huge cable that is coming from you all the way to your computer.
Yep. Basically, when you wear a HTC Vive,
Or any, pretty much.
or anything, you have a massive mullet on the back of your head,
Yep.
which allows you to see things. So HTC has taken a step to get rid of this issue
Yep.
by creating a wireless adapter.
I remember they were talking about it last year. They were talking about release, I think, and I remember they were trialing it in like Asia or something. Anyway, but now, they've released a wireless adapter, which is pretty cool. So it's attached. So what you do is you attach it to a PCIe slot. That's the word. A PCIe slot on your PC, which will then transmit the game to the wireless module that you insert on the Vive. So that, that's pretty cool.
That's quite cool. That's very modular.
And it also kind of increases the size now. So now you're able to work in a 6 meter by 6 meter range and it also has a 150 degree field of view.
That is that's a fair increase,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so it uses a 60 hertz band using Intel's WiGig or WiGig WiGig. WIGIG. Specification which allows for low latency transmission. So obviously having lag in a virtual reality world isn't favorable.
It's not. You'll get sick, probably.
Yeah, you
Motion
really would.
sickness.
It'll confuse your brain. So yeah, 60 gigahertz. That's damn high frequency, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, because it means that there also won't be any, or at least not most devices don't really use, at least by default. That particular frequency, which means
No interference.
Yeah, no interference.
Yeah. So that's like a long way away from 2.5 or 5 gigahertz.
Yep. And you'll also be able to have up to 3 wireless adapters in the same room. So, you and 2 other friends can, enjoy
Play your own games.
Yeah, play at the same time.
Or do your own thing together. I don't know. just VR things.
And you can just experience the amount of money that you've spent.
Yeah. In its all true bestiality form.
After having all this, if you've got an HTC Vive and you want to get one of these, you'll be able to pre-order from the 5th of September, which I think it's not too far. It's tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
So, tomorrow from the day of recording, it's probably already out at this point.
Yeah.
In terms of pre-orders. And with that, you'll also get a 2-month subscription to Viveport, which is HTC's own VR game store. Kind of like Steam.
Like Steam, but
not.
HTC.
And it will cost a total of $299 US. So that's like $310-ish Australian for our Australian listeners, which will be quite cool.
I'm going to be so poor. That is a lot of money.
Yes.
But I guess that's the cost of having a totally free wireless VR headset. Discussion time.
Yes.
Now, as I've said at the beginning of the show, we will be discussing this. My health record.
So I think what we'll do is we'll start off by kind of just explaining what it is, because despite the fact that it has been kind of rammed down everyone's mouths by the government, not everyone still knows quite what it is. So this is actually not a new thing. It's actually been around for quite a while. It was originally called a personally controlled health record scheme thing, which was launched in 2012. And back when it started, it was an opt-in. And, obviously, because not a lot of people kind of knew about it, they've changed it, and now it's going to be an opt-out program. Which, it is. So it was actually interesting because some people were actually surprised to see that they already had a My Health record. This was due to because there was a trial that happened during 2016, which meant that certain regions, such as the Blue Mountain region in New South Wales and northern Queensland areas, were forcibly put into the opt-out program. So they were given one and they just had to find out without knowing, of course.
Yeah.
Which is a bit messed up, I think.
Yeah. It is good to get information on where your information is going, and to be aware of it. So
yeah, but
bit of a pickle of a move from them.
Yeah. So, I think we could probably start off by answering, what kind of things do they have access to, or what kind of things will they be giving people? We'll go into more depth with that, who people are, but what kind of things will they have access to? So they'll be starting off with allergies, medications, conditions that you've been diagnosed with, whenever you've gone to the doctors or you've been to a hospital, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, any past treatments, basically anything to do with that's crucial information for future doctors or past doctors or whatever to get access to in order to keep you alive.
So we did a poll not that long ago asking, would you have a problem, or do you have a problem with the My Health record? And at least with our small amount of people that actually answered, they said that they would have a problem and they don't really want one. their biggest concerns being, who has access?
Yeah, and it's fair enough because in the couple past months, there has been several privacy concerns, and as I'm sure you've all heard, not only in our previous podcast but all of the news, the scandal with Facebook, and Google, and all the big tech companies out there, how privacy is becoming such a mainstream issue, which is very appropriate because it can get dangerous in where your details are going. Identity theft, real life theft, and people can find out where you live. It can be quite scary. So,
but I think the biggest question, as we mentioned, their biggest question was who has access. So at least according to the government, they're saying that you will have access, your doctor will have access, insurance companies will not have access, which I think is probably one of the bigger concerns, because if insurance companies had access to this type of information, they could potentially figure out, if you're smoking, then or what kind of, if you've got any illnesses, which would mean your health insurance
will go up,
it can get expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So a spokesperson from the Department of Health has said that the My Health Record information can be used for research and public health purposes in either a de-identified form or the individual. So you can give express permission to have your information publicly used, which I'm sure most people probably won't be doing.
But
it's a thing.
Yeah.
But and I think another problem that people have been having is, how will the law enforcement have access? Because under Section 20 of the My Health Record Act, it does say that the police are actually able to request this people's information if they believe it's necessary for preventing or investigating crimes that are protecting the public revenue, among other things.
Interesting.
Which is a bit scary what they might mean by reasonable.
Yeah. That's a very loose term.
That is a very loose term.
Corporations.
I've read other documents and other articles that have said that even they haven't been able to provide a more concrete definition, which isn't very helpful, I think. But My Health Record has said that the police haven't asked for anyone's information yet, so that's good, I guess. But
hopefully we can trust those words.
Yeah, hopefully we can.
Yeah, I mean, my take on it is I'm sort of for it. I mean, in my case, it's a little bit different because I've had quite a few different health issues. So it is, I guess, it is helpful for me in terms of when I go into all these several appointments and whatnot, that the record is all there and it's available for them. Like, I remember a couple of years ago when I transitioned from the children's hospital to the adult hospital, I was surprised that they had already had all my information. I was like, How did you get that? How do you know all this? And they're like, oh no, it's through a system, which actually, now that I remember, it was indeed called the personally controlled health record. I remember my doctor saying that.
Right.
Yeah. So in my case, I'm all for it. It helps me save time because I hate waiting at hospital.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's always that side of me where I am conscious of privacy.
Yeah.
And so I'm a bit iffy about it. But I think it's an okay thing. It's definitely good that they're allowing people to opt out of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, for the general public, if you're going to the doctors like once every year or whatever to get a, I don't know, sore throat lozenge or whatever, that's more than fine for you to opt out. And I'm sure, I mean, there hasn't been any talk of it, but I'm sure once you opt out or if you're not in it at all, there are ways to request to be in it.
Yeah. And look, I agree with you. I definitely think it will be very helpful. For example, if you're in a car accident or some sort of, serious injury and you're in hospital,
Yeah.
it can definitely be good because, they're able to get access to, are you have any allergies to any particular medication they might give you. But yeah, once again, the privacy thing is kind of scary.
It is.
Can we trust the government?
Yeah.
Particularly,
That's the big question.
Yeah.
Can we trust anyone?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But can I trust you, Harry?
Dun dun.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's always two sides to things. Privacy is always the biggest concern.
Yeah.
But
if after all this and you're just like, nah, I don't want none of this. This sounds too scary for me. You have until November 15 this year, 2018, to opt out, which is good. You should be able to have the ability to not have this if you don't want it. So if you are in that boat, you can go to myhealthrecord.gov.au or you can call their hotline 1-800-723-471. All you need to have access to is your Medicare card and either your driver's license, passport, or IMI card. What's an IMI card? Immunization card, I guess? I've never heard of that one.
I've heard of it. I've never actually known what it stands for.
It sounds like immunization. So yeah, it's from what I've seen, it is. From what I've read, it is a simple enough process. So if you don't want it, it's a thing.
Go ahead and
get rid of it
and opt out.
But once again, remember it is an opt-out program. So once November 15 has elapsed, you will have it, and they will start collecting information, and then you can get rid of it after that.
I'm sure it'll be a little bit harder then.
It'll be harder, which is always fun. Governments and their red tape, but whatever. So that was episode number 10 of the Tech Sphere.
Lovely 10, the lovely number we have reached. Apologies for the for the extended time between this episode and the previous episode.
Yeah.
Our schedules have been
it's been legitimately hard.
Been full on.
Between, work and my uni commitments, it's been been difficult to say the least.
But here's episode 10.
Yes.
We definitely do hope that you've enjoyed listening and that you will listen to our future episodes, which we'll try and pump out as regularly as we can, depending on time.
Yes. And once again, obviously, if you do wish to communicate with us, either Andrew or myself, you can either email us at the techsfeedpodcast@hobartmedia.com, or you, as we've said in previous episodes, you may as well just hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah, go for it. Send us a message.
Yeah.
Please give me a follow.
Yeah, of course. Make sure you're followed.
Follow both of us. Follow the page as well.
Yep.
And yeah, we can start a conversation there. And
yes.
Your stuff could be on the show as well.
Yes. All right. So this was episode number 10. My name is Harry.
And I am Andrew. Over and out.